Welcome to the second lecture on punctuation. The exclamation mark should rarely be used in formal writing. However, it is useful in dialogue and it does have a place in informal communication for interjections. Get out of here and surprise are examples of exclamation. When it comes to question marks, you must make sure that they always follow a question. For example, "Would you please bake me a cake?" is a request. However, "Can you bake cakes?" is a question. Julia asked why Gertrude Stein had such a strange attitude to punctuation is a statement, not a question. The apostrophe is used to form contractions and to form the possessive case. Never use an apostrophe to form a plural. This is called the greengrocer's plural because it's very common to see misspelled words such as tomatoes. And never use one in possessive pronouns such as ours or yours. Consider this first example. Your, spelt Y-O-U-R, is a possessive pronoun used in your house. Your, Y-O-U'-R-E, is the contracted form of the phrase you are. Note the different spellings of there, and there. The phrase exploiting the situation for all it's worth means to exploit the situation for all the worth of it, as its is in the possessive case. Exploiting the situation for all it's worth with an apostrophe means to exploit the situation for all that it is worth. When making singular words possessive, add apostrophe s, as in the book's cover, meaning the cover of the book. When making plural words possessive, add apostrophe s if they don't end in s, such as in the children's books, the books of the children. If the plural already ends in s, as most plurals do, then add an apostrophe only, as in the soldiers' uniforms, the uniforms of the soldiers. The hyphen is used in compound expressions and when a word is divided at the end of a line in the text. For instance, the phrase "a man eating crocodile" means a man who is eating some crocodile. However, in a man-eating crocodile, where man and eating form a compound, you now have a crocodile that eats people. The sentence, "There were 50-odd students at the lecture," means that there were about 50 students at the lecture. Without the hyphen, the meaning is quite different and could be rather insulting to the students. In written documents, use single quotation marks for parts of a whole text and italics for the whole text. For example, short poems, songs, articles, chapters, and episodes of a TV series are parts of a larger whole, and so use quotation marks. However, books, newspapers, and TV series are whole texts, and so should be written in italics. Martin Amos's "The Zone of Interest" would be written with the title in italics. To refer to Chapter 2 of the novel, "To Business," I would put the name of the chapter in quotation marks. When using quotation marks to indicate dialogue, punctuate as logically as possible. For example, in the sentence, "Is he still there?" asked Jane, the question mark goes inside the quotation marks because it applies to the question that Jane asks. However, in "He said, no, I don't think so," the full stop is outside the quotation marks because it ends the entire sentence, not just the dialogue. When using quotation marks within a quotation or piece of dialogue, use double quotation marks, such as in the sentence, "James said yes," she replied. I've posted a note in the course resources for this week that discusses a movement towards logical punctuation, which places the period on the outside. This has been common in Australia and the UK, but is now becoming more acceptable in the USA, by Conan O'Brien for one. The slash is used to indicate a choice between words and normally takes the place of the word or. For example, the Oxford/Harvard/serial comma. Slashes can also be used to indicate a break in a line of poetry, as in, I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills. The ellipsis is used to indicate an omission. For example, when removing a sentence from a quote, an ellipsis takes the place of that sentence, as in, Barnaby wrote, we have nothing to do with this. I am completely free of blame. In prose, an ellipsis indicates a pause, such as in the sentence, he wasn't, was he? It can also indicate a trailing off, such as in, I was going to... Never mind. Here are some final reminders for using punctuation effectively. Aim to punctuate for structure to reveal, meaning to clarify, and pace to control. Study sentences in well-punctuated prose to learn the particular marks, and familiarise yourself with how they should be used. As Adorno says, punctuation marks are the stitches that hold the quilt of language together. Construct your own set of guidelines for punctuation. Remember, punctuation should be there, quietly doing its job, and be visible only to those who are looking for it. Make sure that every punctuation mark you use conveys a signal to your reader to slow down, to stop, etc. There are many ways to punctuate writing and many different rules and options. You must make certain that you are knowledgeable and consistent in your use of punctuation. See how you go with the exercise below.